Good afternoon, all. Uh, Kindly put your roll number once again. Okay, just now I have started the video recording. That's why I am requesting you to put your roll number for attendance purpose once again. And after 2 minutes gap, I will start the session. Okay, if you have completed your attendance, then please confirm that my voice is clearly audible and the presentation is visible on your screen. Please confirm it so that I can start my session.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now I will start today's session. Okay, from last few lectures, we have seen the introduction of the plastic engineering. Okay, in last lecture, we have discussed related to the syllabus, theoretical means we have started from teaching and examination scheme. After that, I have discussed with you on the syllabus content and its marking scheme for this subject. And after this, we will go through the actual syllabus means today we will start our first chapter, that is introduction to the plastics. For this first chapter, introduction to the plastics, the first slide will be this will be your first slide. Okay, these are the contents of the first chapter. What we are going to study in this chapter, we will start with the introduction of the plastic materials, means concept, or you can say that the definition of the plastic materials and its brief classification. Then after studying the definition and classification, we will move towards the properties of the plastic materials. Then we will see some general applications of the plastics. Then after that, we are going to discuss few points related to the different testing methods to determine the properties of the plastic materials. In this, we are going to study the tensile testing, then impact testing, or you can say that some flexural testing is there, and then how to determine the electrical properties, chemical properties, physical properties of the plastic materials, that we are going to discuss in this testing methods for the plastics. Then after that, we will discuss next point, that is additives which are used or which are added in the plastics to change their properties. Then we will move towards the concept of the monomer and polymer. And after that, the last and very important point will be polymerization method. And in that, we are going to discuss its brief classification along with some practical examples. Okay, so this is the syllabus content for the first chapter. Now we will go through some basic slides. Okay, that from that our first slide will be the title of the chapter. While discussing the title of the chapter, I will try to discuss the what is the exact meaning of the plastic material here. So, title of the chapter is the introduction to the plastics. Now, in this introduction, what is the exact meaning of the plastic material that I have collected here? Uh, Please try to go through the third point, that is the last point from this slide. That is from where this word plastic is derived. Okay, this plastic word is derived from a Greek word. Okay, go through this third point. This plastic word is derived from a Greek word plastikos. Okay, don't try to read this word. This is the symbol or written in the Greek language. Okay, it means the plastikos. Okay, plastikos in the Greek. From this plastikos word, they have derived the plastic. And what is the meaning of this plastikos in the Greek language? capable of being shaped or molded. Okay, you can give any kind of the shape, or you can mold it into the different kinds of the shapes, or different kind. You can give any kind of the dimension to that particular material, and that particular property is named as the plasticos in the Greek language. And from that Greek word plasticos, this plastic word is derived. Okay, are you getting this? The meaning of the plasticos is capable of a material which can be given different shapes or by using different processes. In short, you can say that capable of being shaped or molded. That property is termed as plasticos in the Greek language, and from this plasticos word, they have derived the letter plastic. Okay, or it is, you can say here another word which is similar to the in the Greek language, that is plastos. This plastos means molded, which can be molded. From these two letters they have derived the word plastic. So this is related to the you can say that this some basic knowledge related to the origin or from where this word has been derived. And after that we will see that when the first plastic material is manufactured. Okay, this is for your some information. In 1907, I think at the start of 20th century, like, okay, the first plastic material manufactured is bakelite. Okay, this is the first plastic material which is manufactured, and that is the bakelite material is manufactured. So after discussing the origin and some history of these plastics, we will move towards the what exactly plastic material is. For that, we will go through the this first and second points from this slide. Okay, plastics are you can say that nothing but synthetic or semi-synthetic materials. Okay, and which are formed from the different kinds of the polymers, or you can say that polymer is the basic ingredient or main ingredient of these plastic materials. Okay, what is the meaning of polymer, or what is the meaning of the monomers? uh, for that we are having one separate point already I have mentioned in the content. Okay, here we are having separate point here: monomer. What is the meaning of monomer, polymer, and polymerization? In short, I can tell you that the smallest unit. Okay, very basically, if you go in the metallurgy, I think you have studied in the metallurgy subject, the basic unit will be termed as the unit cell from your crystal structure. That is the unit cell. Like that, here the basic unit will be termed as the monomer. Basic repetitive unit, you can say that in this plastic materials will be termed as the monomer. And by combination of number of monomers, a link is formed that will be termed as the polymer. Okay, and how this polymerization process is will occur, that we will discuss at the end of this chapter or in the later half of this chapter. Okay, right now you have to just understand that plastics are nothing but these are the polymeric materials, or you can say that these are synthetic or semi-synthetic materials which consists of polymer as their basic or main ingredient. Then in the second point, I have highlighted here some basic properties of the plastic materials. Okay, these plastics can be molded, extruded, or pressed into the different solid objects having different dimensions, different shapes. Okay, and that can be used for various applications. So this is the little bit introduction of the plastics. Okay, in short, or can polymerization, different testing methods. Like I have mentioned some testing methods here: tensile testing, impact testing, and structural testing, flammability test. Then we are going to test their physical, chemical, and electrical properties, and we are going to check their quality also. Okay, so this is the central idea for this chapter. And what is the importance of this chapter? Okay, after studying this chapter, or why we are means through this chapter, we are going to understand the basics, or we will get the fundamental knowledge related to the plastic material, and we will able to understand the properties of the plastic materials, and depending on their properties only, we can decide the specific application of that plastic material in different fields, like agricultural field, medical field, then electrical or electronics field, then construction field, transportation field. Okay, depending on the fundamental knowledge of the plastic materials, and after studying their classification and properties only, we will be able to decide their specific application. So that's why it is necessary to study this chapter. This is the importance of this chapter. Then what will be the chapter outcome? So this is the chapter outcome, or you can say that the objective of studying this chapter also. At the end of this chapter, you will be able to understand what are the basic properties or characteristics of the plastic materials, and what are the different types of the plastic materials. Then which testing methods we have used to determine their properties, and we will able to understand the concept of polymerization. Okay, so these are some basic things. Now we will actually move towards our syllabus content, that is the what is the meaning of plastics. Okay, already I have discussed this. What is the meaning of plastic? Plastic, it is a synthetic or semi-synthetic material. Okay, its main ingredient will be polymers. And what is the basic property of the plastic material? It can be reshaped or remolded. You can give it a shape again and again. Okay, for some specific types, you can give the shapes again and again, and you can give the shape again and again with the help of heat and pressure to form different objects having different shapes and sizes. Okay, and that can be practically usable for your industry, in the domestic industry, or you can say that domestic applications or industrial applications. Or in short, what is the meaning of plastic? In short, in some books, you can find the second point as the meaning of the plastic material, a organic material which can be reshaped or remolded. In short, okay, you can say that what is the plastic material? It is a organic material. Organic material in this sense, it consists of some carbon hydrogen bond will be there. Okay, carbon hydrogen means you can say that that is the organic material. In non inorganic materials, basically some carbon hydrogen bond is absent in that case. Okay, and that is some chemistry part. You are not required here. For just a better understanding, I am telling you that. Okay, in short, you can say that this plastic is a organic material which can be reshaped with the help of heat and pressure. Here you have to mention some practical examples of the plastics. I think we all are surrounded with the number of plastic components. Okay. Just we are not aware of the name of the plastic material used. Okay, different plastics are used there. For example, you can say that the PVC pipes. Okay, PVC, polyvinyl chloride. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. Then nylons, then acrylics, polyesters, polyethylene, polypropylene, then polystyrene. All these are the different kinds of the plastics. Uh, Now they are having, according to their properties, they will be having some specific applications, and that we will discuss later. Just try to understand that plastic is a material. It is a organic material, or you can say that it is a synthetic or semi-synthetic material which can be reshaped with application of heat and pressure. Okay, this synthetic material part is means they are not going to ask any question. Just I have collected it for your information. That what is the meaning of synthetic material? Synthetic material, these are the materials which can be manufactured or made by chemically changing the original material. Okay, chemically, suppose one source material is available, we are doing some chemical changes in that. Okay, means in short, you can say that these are organic materials, um, man-made organic materials. You can say that artificially made organic materials or man-made organic materials that will be termed as synthetic materials. Means these are not naturally in existence. These are artificially manufactured or artificially made. That's why the term is used synthetic material. Some examples of the synthetic materials, you can say that different kinds of the plastics, then different kinds of medicines or some new fuels are there. Okay, new kinds of the fuels we are using nowadays. These all are some synthetic materials, you can say that. And after this, discussing the basic part of the plastics, we will move towards what are the important properties of the plastics. Why we are using plastics in our day-to-day life. Okay, uh, if you observe your surrounding, you will find that number almost more than 50% components are having their plastic involved there. Okay, why we are using the plastic? The basic properties will be like this. These plastics are having very low cost. Okay, plastics are having very low cost, then they are having very low density, and their melting point is very low. And these plastics are very easy to do the manufacturing process. And whichever component is manufactured with the help of the plastic material, it is having very long life. Okay, whichever component you are manufacturing with the help of the plastic material, it is having very long life. The manufacturing process is very simple. Then you can manufacture the components in the variety. Means you can give the any desired shape and size also. Then the next property will be plastics are having means as compared to their weight, strong weight to them, you can say that strong will provide the very strong properties, or you can say that very good mechanical properties with the minimum possible weight. With the minimum possible weight, they will provide you better strength or better mechanical properties. Then the next important property is plastics are plastic will work as electrically and thermally insulative materials. Okay, they will act as a insulative material. That's why we are using the plastic materials for manufacturing of our electrical, or you can say that electrical boards or the different wires or cables which we are using. Mm. Okay, due to this basic property, that is, and they will act as a insulating material, electrical and thermally insulative material. Okay, and after this, this plastics will provide you very good resistance to the corrosion, then shock or different chemicals, or it will provide you better corrosion resistance in the corrosive water also, means sea water. Then already this point I have discussed here, that is plastics are having very good mechanical properties. Then plastics have good ability to flow in the mold. Due to this good flow ability, you can say that you can give the desired shape and size to that particular plastic material, and it is very easy to manufacture that particular plastic component in the desired shape, size. Then after this, the whichever plastic component is manufactured or manufacturing, converting the source material or raw material into the desired product, it requires very less time. That is, it is having very low processing time as well as low processing cost. And it is having the last property, that is these plastic materials will be having very good chemical stability and damping capacity also. Okay, so these are some basic properties of the plastic materials. And after these properties, we will move towards the classification of the plastics. Okay, I will wait for 2 minutes here. Kindly please note down this point. Means just from this definition, just write down the second point, second and third point only. Okay, I will wait for 1 or 2 minutes here. Just write down the second and third point. Okay, this point. In short, this is the very short definition and few examples of the plastics. Okay, a material belonging to the family of organic material which can be reshaped with the help of heat and pressure. Okay, after completing, put that in the chat box so that I can start the next point. Okay, after completing this, we will move towards the classification of the plastics. Just you have to draw this chart. Polymers are nothing but the plastic materials. You can see that, and these will be classified in two basic types. Okay, please try to understand this chart. These plastic materials basically will be classified in two types, that is thermoplastics and thermosets. These thermosets are also known as thermosetting plastics also. Okay, these thermosets are also known as thermosetting plastics. Thermosets and thermoplastics. And these thermoplastics are again classified in two types, that is semi-crystalline and amorphous. Okay, thermoplastics, depending on the type of the structure they are having, they will be classified in two types, amorphous and semi-crystalline. Okay, so these are the two types. In brackets, I have mentioned some example for thermosets, epoxy resins, phenolics, you can say that urea formaldehyde, melamine formaldehyde, all these are thermosets. Then thermoplastics, you can say that your polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, nylon, these are thermoplastics. And from that thermoplastics, those who are having definite structure, you can say that, that will be termed as semi-crystalline, and those who are not having any definite structure, that will be termed as the amorphous thermoplastics, or you can say that the amorphous materials in short. So this is the chart. Now we will go in the brief. Okay, we will go in the brief. What is the meaning of the thermostatic plastic and what is the meaning of thermoplastics? Okay, this is the just the chart. Draw this chart. Then after drawing this chart, we will move towards the actual definitions of this. Okay, so we will try to understand here. Now here in this slide, I have collected what is the meaning of the thermosets and what is the meaning of the thermoplastics. Okay, I will first go through the thermoplastics. What are these thermoplastics? Okay, thermoplastics, you can say that when these thermoplastics are heated, they will soften, and during the cooling, they will harden. Okay, these are termed as the thermo. In short, I am telling this thermoplastics are the materials which will soften on heating and harden on cooling. That will be the thermoplasts or thermoplastics. And what is the meaning of the thermosets? Okay, these thermosets, you can say that these are the polymers once molded or hardened. Okay, once molded or hardened, they cannot be reshaped or recycled. Okay, this is the very basic difference. Thermoplastic material, okay, this is the thermoplastic material. Thermoplastic material, you can do the reshaping or recycling of that material, but it is almost impossible to do the reshaping or recycling of the thermosets. Okay, once you have molded and hardened, it cannot be recycled or reshaped, or it cannot be reversed. That will be termed as the thermosets. Okay, now I will explain it again. What is the meaning of thermosets? Thermoset. What is the meaning of thermoset? These are the polymers. You can do the means once molded or hardened. You cannot do the reshaping or recycling of it. That will be termed as the thermosets. Okay, what is okay? Sorry for disturbance here again. Okay, what is the meaning of thermosets? Thermosets, these are the polymer. If you completed their molding and hardening process, then you cannot do the reshaping or recycling again. That will be termed as thermosets. What is the meaning of thermoplastic materials? These are the polymers. You can repeatedly do the heating and molding. You will be able to do the heating and molding again and again without changing their physical and chemical properties. That kind of plastics will be termed as thermoplastics. Okay. In thermosets, in short, you can say thermosets, you can do the reshaping or a remolding or recycle in the in the thermoplasts. You can do reshaping, remolding, or recycling in the thermoplasts. But in case of the thermosets, you cannot do the reshaping or recycling. Once it is molded and hardened, it will remain as it is. Okay, that will be termed as the thermosets. Then here some properties of the thermoplastic materials are collected here. Then properties of the thermosets. Okay, these are the properties of the um, instead of taking the means reading these properties for or I will go this through the properties in short way and because I have made one separate slide here. Okay, this is one separate slide I have made here. Here I have done the comparison of thermosetting plastics and thermoplastics. Okay, this thermos is also known as thermoplasts. Okay, thermoplasts and these are thermosets. Okay, here I have made the comparisons. Almost about 10 or 11 points I have collected here along with some examples. Okay, so basically in exam they will ask you this question. Okay, this question will be there. There's a comparison. You have to do the comparison of this thermosetting plastics and thermoplastics. Basically, this will come in the classification, or sometimes they will ask you the classification of the plastic material. Then you have to write that on which basis this classification is done, based on the effect of the heat, or based on the effect of the, you can say that based on the effect of the heat, what will be the change in their properties. Okay, depending on that, this classification is done thermosetting and thermoplastics. So before discussing this comparison slide, we will go through these properties of separately, properties of thermoplastics and properties of thermosetting materials. Or I will use the word thermoplasts here. This is the thermoplast and this is the thermosets. Okay. For thermoplasts, the first property will be its molecules will be very weak. Okay, its molecules will be very weak and straight chain bonds will be there. Okay, molecules will be weak and straight chained bonds will be there. For better understanding of this thermoplasts and thermosets, I have collected this diagram. Okay, is it visible? Is it clearly visible? Please provide me reply, otherwise I will enlarge this screen or diagram. I will enlarge it. Is it visible? You can provide the reply in the chat box. Okay, is it visible? Okay, it's visible. Okay, no problem. I will still try to enlarge it. Okay. Okay, I have a little bit enlarged this. Okay, so on the left side of your screen, okay, on the left hand side, left side, where I am showing the cursor here, this is the left side. This is the thermoplastic material. And this is the thermoset material. Okay, what is the basic difference here? Okay, here you can say that cross link is there in the thermosets. Cross link is there, and here cross link is absent. You can say that cross link is not present in the thermoplastic material. That's why the bonding is very weak. That's why bonding is very weak, and due to this weak bonding, their melting point is also low. Their melting point. All the properties of this material will depend on this structure only. Okay, this is their basic structure. This is the thermoplastic, and this is the thermoset. Okay, you can say you can clearly see here the cross link. This cross link is present in these thermosets, and cross link is completely absent. Okay, means just they have organized in a straight chain. You can say that straight linear chain is formed here. Straight, you can see here straight linear chain is there. Straight linear chain. A straight linear chain is there, but here cross linking is done. One linear chain is attached to the other. Okay, cross linking is try to understand the meaning of this cross linking. Cross linking is here means one linear chain is connected to the another linear chain. Here linear chains are not connected. Chains are not connected to each other. Okay, please see it carefully. These are the linear chains only. Okay, and this single unit, in short, you can say that this single molecule or this single unit will be a monomer. And by connecting or by joining or when these different monomers came together, they will form the polymer. Okay. Now that is the different part. I will discuss that later. Just try to understand here in the thermoplastic material. In the thermoplastic material, cross-linking is not present like this. This is the cross-linking, the spot. Here the dark spot indicates the cross-linking. This cross-linking is present in the thermosets. Due to presence of this cross-linking, they they are hard, strong in nature. Means their strength will be more. Due to this cross-linking, they will be hard, strong in nature, and their strength will be more. Their strength will be more. And here, due to absence of this cross-link, they will be weak in nature and they will be soft. They will be these material thermoplastic materials will be weak, soft, and their melting point will be low due to absence of the cross-linking, and this will be more strong and having more strength. Okay, and they will carry more load also. Okay, these are some basic properties which you can understand from this diagram. All the comparison points you can write by understanding of this diagram only. Almost 9 to 10 points you can write. Okay, just you have to understand this diagram. Only that points have collected uh, in this slide by highlighting the properties, advantages, disadvantages. Okay, the first point for thermoplastics will be like this: the molecules have weak and straight chain bonds. Okay, molecules have weak and straight chained bonds. That's why they can be easily broken on heating. Hence, their melting point is very less. And exactly reverse case will be there. Molecules will be having the straight chain bonds, but due to the cross linking, that bond becomes more stronger. That's why more amount of heat will be required to break that bond. Hence, their melting point is more. Okay, so this is some basic questions. In competitive examination, they can ask you the reasoning behind. Means they will provide you statement like this. Means why the melting point of the thermosets is high, or why the melting point of thermoplasts is very low, and you have to mention this reason there, because in the thermoplasts molecule weak weak straight chain bond, and that can be easily broken, and no cross linking is present there. That's why bonds can be easily broken with the minimum heat. That's why melting point is low. And exactly reverse case will be there in the thermosets. The next property, the thermoplastics are polymerized by the manufacturers and don't require polymerization again during the processing. Okay, before manufacturing, only the polymerization process is completed. Then these are elastic and flexible in nature. Okay, already I have discussed this with reference to the structure only, that they are weak in nature, and they will be soft, weak and soft. That's why they will be having elastic nature and flexible nature. They will easily get dissolved in the organic solvents. This again depends, as their bond is very weak, easily they will get dissolved. Then the next point is on heating, they will soften. On heating, they will soften, and on cooling, they will harden. Okay. And next is the melting point of the thermoplastic is lower than their degradation point. Okay. What is the degradation point? Degradation point means that material will get degraded. Okay. Degraded. Material will get degraded. Degraded means in Marathi you can say that नष्ट होऊन जाईल मटेरियल. त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो डिग्रेडेशन पॉइंट. म्हणजे ते नश्वर असेल त्या पॉइंटला, त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो डिग्रेडेशन पॉइंट. दॅट इज दी डिग्रेडेशन पॉइंट. And its degradation point, you can say that will be little bit higher than the melting point. Okay. Then these thermoplastics are available in the form of solid pellets before the actual use. Then the last point, in solid state, their structure consists of hard crystalline region together with the amorphous region. Okay, so these are the some basic characteristics or properties. Minimum three, four properties, at least three, four properties you have to remember, and you will be able to write it. Just try to understand the structure. Depending on that structure, you can write here. Then depending on the structure, only properties of thermosets are written here. Exactly, you can say that the reverse, exactly the reverse properties will be here. Okay, just I will read it very fastly because I have covered this point while discussing the structure of the thermoplasts and thermosets materials. While discussing that only, I have explained this. I will just read it for you. And these are having very strong chemical bond between the molecules due to this cross-linking. Okay, due to which they do not separate on the heating. Okay, due to that cross-linking, their bond will be very strong. That's why they do not separate on the heating. Then thermosets have to go a polymerization process during the processing stage. Okay, two-stage polymerization. During the processing in the thermoplast, they does not require any polymerization. But here in this material, thermosetting material, they require polymerization process. Okay, and then these are very hard and brittle in nature due to that bond only, bond and cross linking only. This they will be having hard and brittle nature, and their load carrying capacity will be very high. Then they does not dissolve in any kind of organic solvent due to this cross linking only. Okay, on heating, Thermosets polymers will char and not melt. Okay, whenever if you continue to provide heating, then this thermoset polymers will char. Okay, char means you can say that काय म्हणतो त्याला मराठीमध्ये त्याला काय म्हणतात तर त्याचा कलर असा काळा होईल पूर्ण. ओके, करपून गेल्यासारखं थोडक्यात. ओके, थर्मोसेट पॉलिमर्स विल चार. चार म्हणजे काय तर तो करपून जाईल जर तुम्ही कंटिन्यू त्याला हिटिंग प्रोव्हाइड केली तर तो करपून जाईल पूर्ण काळा होऊन जातो पण तो मेल्ट होणार नाही. ओके, इट विल become char, or you can say that the thermoset polymers will char but does not melt. Okay, so this is the another property. Then after that its degradation point is lower than its melting point. Okay, means before melting it will get degraded. Okay, melt वितळण्यापूर्वीच तो पूर्णपणे डिग्रेड और यू कॅन से दॅट इव्हॉपरेट होऊन जाईल तो पूर्णपणे. Then next is thermosets are in the liquid state before processing. And then here the last point in the last point is related to their structure. Okay, this is these points I have collected from the some can from the internet source only. That's why if you are not able to understand some points, you can ask me. I'll try to explain it again and again. Okay. So when in the solid state, the structure consists of resin, which is enforced, or you can say that interposed in the fibers. Okay. Just like the combination of the composite materials, you can say that this thermosetting structure will be like that only. Okay, some advantages and disadvantages I have highlighted here. You can say that, or you can try to read it. I will go through it fast because this is just I have collected for your reference purpose. These advantages and disadvantages. Main point is the this can say that the comparison. Okay, this is the advantages of the thermoplastic materials. Is having very high impact resistance, then it can be recycled and reused. It can be recycled and reused. It is very easy to repair the thermoplastic materials, and it is having high chemical resistance. So next to these are best properties. Aesthetically better surface finish. Aesthetically it will give you better surface finish. Then uncured plastics do not need a refrigeration storage. Okay, or it can be stored at some normal place. Refrigeration is not required. Uncured means the process of the cooling or process of manufacturing is not completed yet. That's why it is termed as the uncured thermoplastic. Okay, and it does not require any refrigeration for the storage purpose. Then during this manufacturing of thermoplastics or these thermoplastic materials, these are little bit or you can say that these are environment friendly during the production. I'm telling you that during the production only. Okay, the plastic material will cause the hazard to the environment, but while doing the manufacturing process, the thermoplastic materials less emissions will be there. And then the next is the disadvantage. You can say that the disadvantages, the heat and pressure requirement. Heat and pressure is required. Okay, for fiber reinforcement, heat and pressure is required. Cost is little bit on the higher side. Then you have to take proper care while providing the heating. These are very sensitive to the ultraviolet rays. Then polymer degradation will occur after constant remelting or remolding. Okay, what is the basic advantage here? You can do the reshaping and remolding again and again, but some disadvantages are also there. During this reshaping and remolding process, some polymers may get degraded. Okay, some polymers may get degraded, and after that, the structural failure on high stress will be there. Means its load carrying capacity is very less. Okay, now and after that the leaching of the hazardous chemical in the long run may occur. Okay, here you can this is the This will come in the disadvantages point. You can say that okay, this is the leaching of some hazardous chemicals in the long run. Leaching is nothing but you can say that along with some means during the some hazardous materials will get carried in the form of their liquid. Okay, means okay, so for your better understanding how it will be means some it may get contaminated, some chemicals may get added like dust is getting added in the water like that, some hazardous chemical may get added, or you can say that contamination instead of leaching the better word will be like this, contamination uh, may occur here. Contamination, okay, means some foreign material or some dust particles, for example dust particle I am telling you, but here instead of dust particles other chemicals may be there. Okay, other foreign materials may get added, that is termed as the leaching of hazardous chemical in the long run. Then we will move towards the advantages of the thermosets. Advantages will be like this. These thermosets are having high strength, then their resistance to the heat and chemical is very high. Then it is having very low cost. Okay, low cost. It is the advantage of this thermosetting material or thermosets. Then here the fiber reinforcement of liquid raw material is very easy. Then its durability, or you can say that the life is very mm, means as compared to the thermoplasts, it is having longer life. Okay, life will be very long. Then attractive or finished component will be having very good surface finish. Okay, then the ability of thick and well established thin wall formation is also there. Then better adhesive properties will be provided here. Then what are some disadvantages will be there like this? Disadvantages will be like this. It cannot be recycled. Then for uh, its raw material requires refrigeration storage. Then doing the repair is very difficult. Okay. Then the next is it is a lengthy and complex process to do the manufacturing of the components from the thermosetting material. That process will be very lengthy and complex. Then sometimes due to the high force, high impact force, okay, due to the high impact force, that structure may get failed, and during the production process, emissions will be more. Emissions will be more, and you cannot here blending is not possible, means mixing of one thermoset material into the another thermoset material, it is not possible. Okay, in case of thermosets, thermoplasts, you can do that. In the thermoplast material you can do the blending or mixing of one material into other, but here in thermosets it is not possible. So after its properties, the next point will be the comparison. Okay, okay, I think we are having only 3 4 minutes. Okay, we will discuss this comparison point in the next session. Okay, which part we have studied in this lecture, I will just revise it. Okay, within a few minutes I will revise it. We have started this first chapter, introduction to the plastics. We have started with the content, then we have gone through the title of the chapter, then what is the central idea of this chapter, what is the importance of this chapter, and what will be the outcome of this chapter. Then after that, we have gone through the definition of the plastic materials. Then we have gone through the what is the meaning of synthetic material, what is the meaning of organic material, what is the meaning of semi-synthetic material. Uh, then what are the basic properties of the plastic materials. And after that, we have discussed how these plastic materials are classified. Uh, in the therm classification is done in the as thermosets and thermoplasts, and that thermoplasts can be classified in semi-crystalline and amorphous materials. Then what is the meaning of thermosetting material and what is the meaning of thermoplastic material? Okay, thermosets. These are the polymers. Once molded and hardened, it cannot be reshaped or recycled. And thermoplastic material, these are the polymers that can be repeatedly heated, molded without affecting any change in their chemical and physical properties. And then separately we have discussed properties of the thermoplastics and properties of the thermosets, advantages of the thermoplastics and disadvantages of thermoplastics, then advantages of thermosets and disadvantages of thermosets. All these we have discussed by taking the reference of the structure or their appearance, basic appearance. This is the structure or appearance of the thermoplastic material, or you can say that their basic polymer structure. Their polymer structure will be like this, and for thermosetting material, polymer structure will be like this. Chains will be there with cross linking. Here, only linear, straight linear chains will be there without any cross linking. Okay, so this is the basic related basics of this plastics and thermoset and thermoplast materials. So those who have remained to enter their presentee, please mention your roll number in the chat box. Okay, kindly please confirm that you have entered your roll number after I have started the recording of this lecture. Otherwise, your absentee will be marked. Okay. If you are having any doubt related to this thermoplastic material, thermosetting material, you can ask me, or what is the exact meaning of the plastics. You can ask me here only. In the next lecture, we will go through the comparison of thermoplastic and thermosetting material. Then after that, we will go through the additives, and we will try to understand the concept of monomer, polymer, and polymerization. Okay. If all points are clear, I will stop this session here only. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for attending this session. If you are having any query, you can write that in the chat box. Okay. Or you can ask in the next session also. Okay. Okay, thank you for attending this session. I will stop here. Thank you.